Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Morey Croson from the Performance Lab of California, doing another breakdown here today. Today, we thought we'd do Allyson Felix. She is from the LA area. She's one of the most decorated Olympians of really all time, and really has a lot, I think, that we can look at and see and utilize for trying to better understand the sprint, try to better understand how to get the most out of running in general, and also just anything that is unique that we can pick up on that can make it so we can train better and perform better. And also, I think that getting a woman track and field athlete or just a woman in general would be cool to do for a overall breakdown. So one of the things that stands out with Allyson is that she just has a very unique leg length, and so it just seems like when she's running, she just has her proportion of how long her legs are compared to the rest of the body is really something that it is provided a lot of advantage for her as a sprinter. But when you see her actually run, you can see how really strong she is with each one of her steps. She doesn't take very much time with each one of them. This is just a 100 meter sprint here, and you can see that the girl in lane number 2, she really got out to a good start and is pretty far ahead. But as the video goes, we'll see that Allyson's actually able to catch up to her, and a big part of it to me is just because of the ability to really get that really good knee height in each one of her steps, and does a really good job getting good extension as well in each one of her steps. So because she has such long legs and does such a good job at utilizing and maximizing each one of her steps, getting that knee all the way up to her hip, eventually she ends up really catching on fast as she starts to really get into the prime of her sprint. There's a lot of things that are very similar that we see here from male sprinting as well for female sprinting, where you're still trying to get that heel to the butt, still trying to get that knee up as far as you can. It does seem like, though, what Allyson does have is she has a really good ability to separate in her legs. So she, this right leg gets so far back, and she's really allowed to, allow that hip to tilt backwards as she's going through an extension, which is helping her generate a lot of power with each one of her steps. Same thing on the left one. Seems like she has a lot of ability to get that leg really far back and then still be able to drive that right one. So it almost seems like with the female sprinters, a little bit more of a horizontal movement. So they're going to get more this way. Males are going to get a little bit more this way. And that just could be because of the difference of the hip bones, being a little bit wider. They're able to maximize the flexion extension, while the male's hip bone's a little bit narrower, so they're not able to get as much flexion extension, but are able to get a lot of up and down force, kind of vertical force in each one of the steps. But that's really from this perspective. I mean, you still want to work on the same things and really maximizing the stride length is something that I think Allyson does extremely well in her sprinting, and that's one of the things that's made her so she's one of the best sprinters ever. When we look at it from this perspective, we can see a little bit more of what the differences are. Again, I mean, she has such good foot contact time, and you can see when she's touching the ground, she just doesn't spend much time on each one of her steps. She just taps and taps, and I think that is just so excellent, so well done. One of the things I think that is interesting when she's sprinting is when the left arm goes back, she does a much better job going kind of straight back here. It almost seems like she likes having more rotation to her left side, but then when you go back to the right side, that elbow gets a little bit more away. And it almost seems like it's just because of spine limitation. So she can't rotate as well to the right side. And since she doesn't, what she does is she kind of allows that elbow to kind of bow off to the side, which makes it so she could still get plenty of drive out of that pec when she comes back. Okay, one of the things that I think is kind of unique about Allyson, if we look at her like belly button or lower core, it's very stagnant throughout the run. She doesn't have very much rotation going on. Even if we compare it to the person lane number 2, where there's a lot of rotation going on, you can see that Allyson does a good job of keeping everything very still. There's a lot of rotation going on in her upper T-spine within her pecs, but not very much in the lower core. But then if you see the girl here, you can see how right here it's pointing off to the side, and then as she drives through, see how that rotation happens here? Boom. And we'll see when she goes back that it happens again as she drives here with her belly button rotating. Now we go back to Allyson Felix, and look how she does a good job of keeping it very still the whole time. There's really not much rotation. So, one of the things that's unique with Allyson is that she has a lot of flexibility within her hips, and the reason that she does and can get that flexibility we were seeing from the other angle is because she's so stable in that lower core. Her belly button is not moving very much, but what she is doing, she's getting a lot of overall activation from that upper body. Has very strong pecs, is a lot of ability to rotate within those obliques, and I think that's what's really allowed her to excel at a high level. So just some things that notice when breaking her down, looking at her sprint, and it just tells us that from a course perspective, again, that's so important in developing overall power, overall sprinting speed, and part of the reason why it's so important is because when you have that core strength, it helps you get more range of motion within the hips. And obviously being able to maximize your stride length is going to be crucial for long-term success. So quick breakdown there of Allyson. Thanks so much for watching. We have a lot of different things that we offer for you guys through different online resources. We do we have a whole membership site that has different type of exercises, has different ideas for how you can better your sprinting technique, better your throwing technique. We go into specific movements too, squat, deadlift. We want to just make it so overall you have a good understanding of the body's biomechanics and how it's supposed to be moving. We also do different types of breakdowns. So if you want to learn more about your sprint, learn more about your throw, learn a bit more about a specific movement, we can help you in better understanding that. Also do specific exercises. A really cool thing that we do for people online to make it so you can get some personalization into your training, and also make it so you can get the best out of your sport, stay away from injuries. And in terms of these, breakdowns, subscribe to our channel. We do these breakdowns for sprinters. We do them for quarterbacks. We do them for pitchers. We do them for we want to get into more sports as time goes on, and make it so we could just show how to really get the most out of your body, and how really true biomechanics works. So as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.